Here's today's HaYom. We are now discussing the 5 aspects of Tshuva, of returning to God. How should we express this in our day-to-day life? So the Maggid of Mezrich, the successor of the Baal Shem Tov, said that the whole idea of Tshuva is returning to God so that your day-to-day life is totally connected with the Creator. Hashem should be Elokeinu, totally connected with the Creator. And Rabbi Zusha Vanipola said, I can't do that. It's too hard. Let's make this a little bit more, how do you say, digestible. I'll take Tshuva and I will break it down into 5 different aspects. Right? Do any one of these, and you're on the way to do Tshuva. 5, according to the 5 letters of Tshuva. Tov, Shin, Vav, Beit, Hey. Tov, we already finished, and Shin, we already finished. Right? Tov means Tamim Tiyem Hashem. Tamim, be wholesome, earnest with God. Be earnest with God, be sincere. Be sincere. The connection to God shouldn't be, take it or leave it once in a while. How do they say? Honesty is the best policy sometimes. All the time, be sincere with God. That's tough. Shin means Shiviti Hashem Negdi Tamid. Always keep in your mind that God is creating the world. He's creating everything. He's creating you. He's creating me. Put God in front of you always. That's the second. Now we're on the third. Vav. Vav means Ve'ahavta l'recha kamocha. That's the first letter in the commandment of love your fellow man like yourself. Love your fellow like yourself. Now, this commandment is really only for the Jews. Jews have a commandment to love one another. They have a commandment to love one another because love begins at home. But essentially, this love is supposed to extend to all mankind. But Jews, if Jews don't love Jews, and usually it's easier for the Jews to love everybody else in the world except for the Jews, Jews loving Jews is a very difficult task to do. And you have to overlook a lot of negative stuff and a lot of things that you imagine to be negative. And you have to overlook a lot of negative things in yourself in order to come to see something good in other people. So it says, love your neighbor as yourself. The Alter Rebbe taught us that this love is an instrument to love God. Right? To love God is not so easy. You don't see God, but to love your fellow man, the world is filled with your fellow man. Right? And it's not so easy to love them. Especially they're not doing anything for me. Why should I love them? At least God is enlivening me. He's creating me. The problem is, who says it's God enlivening? Maybe it's just nature. But on the other hand, you see your friend exists. We see he exists. There's no doubt that he exists. Right? Not like God. We don't know if he exists or not. Your friend, he exists. The problem is he gets on your nerves. And not only that, even if he doesn't get on your nerves, why should I love him? What I got to love another person? I don't even know who the guy is. So it says love means to appreciate deeply. Love means to appreciate a person deeply to the degree that he will never make you mad and that you'll always try to do favors for him as much as possible. You'll think about him positively and speak about him positively. And if you got nothing to say, then don't say anything. Right? It means you have to, therefore, loving your fellow man, this is a means and a step ladder to loving God. Because in order to love God, you also have to overlook a lot of your self-love. This is explained. It says, whatever is pleasing to man is pleasing to God. Right? If you make this according to the Torah, of course, to make another person happy by saying good morning, whatever, this pleases God. This is service of God is from the goodness of your heart. You have a good heart, right? That's a level of tshuva, which means thinking positively, acting positively, speaking positively, and as much as possible, feeling positively toward every single Jew. And from that, you'll find it's easy to do the same with non-Jews. Now, story.